Hey everyone, I'm attorney Bianca Jordan, immigration attorney at Brazen Legal, an immigration law firm that specializes in family and humanitarian based immigration. If you'd like to work with my firm, please go to brazenlegal.com/contact to book a consultation today. This video is about TPS denials and issues that are coming up. I've had a lot of consultations recently with a lot of people who have applied for TPS on their own and their applications are starting to get denied. Some of them are getting requests for evidence. So I wanted to take some time to talk to you about what is happening in these cases. And if you haven't started your TPS application yet, then watching this video will help you so that you can avoid some of the issues that could possibly come up when you're applying for temporary protected status. So, as I mentioned, TPS, aka temporary protected status, is an immigration benefit that is given to people who temporarily cannot go back to their home country due to something that's happening there. It could be a political uprising, it could be a natural disaster like an earthquake or a hurricane. It could also be an epidemic like Ebola or something like that. And while you're in the United States, the government temporarily extends this immigration benefit to you that enables you to stay in America for a period of 18 months at a time. And while you're here, you're able to apply for a work permit so that you can work legally in this country and get a social security number. You're able to be protected from deportation and detention based on your immigration status. And as long as you qualify for temporary protected status, you're able to apply while you're here. So, generally, in order to qualify for temporary protected status, you first have to be a native or a citizen or national of that country. Or if you're someone who is stateless, you have to show that you last lived in the country that is designated for TPS. Currently, we have about 13 countries designated for TPS. So, next, you have to show that you have been in America during the actual designated times that the Federal Register says you have to be here for. And then you apply for TPS. And once you file your application, you will receive a receipt notice from USCIS that says that they have accepted your application. Next, you're going to get your biometrics, which is basically your fingerprints and your pictures that need to be taken. And then you should receive a decision on your TPS application shortly thereafter. If all goes well, then you will receive a receipt notice that says that your application has been approved. And depending on what else you applied for at that time, the other applications will be approved as well. So, for example, when you're applying for temporary protected status, you're able to also at the same time apply for a work permit and a travel document. So, if you did that, then the work permit will be approved and your travel document will be approved as well. If you applied for both at the same time, then your work permit will also act as your travel document. But if you applied for only TPS and the work permit and you later need to travel on advanced parole, then you're going to need to apply for that separately. And as long as your TPS has not yet expired, you should be able to do so. If there aren't if there are any problems with your case, then it's either going to be denied or you might receive something called a request for evidence, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is USCIS requesting more evidence before they make a decision on your case. You could also receive something called a notice of intent to deny, which is USCIS saying that they're going to deny your TPS application because of XYZ reasons, and you have a certain amount of time to respond to them so that they don't do that. So, what I've been seeing lately in some of the people I've been having consultations with is they've applied for TPS on their own, or maybe they hired someone who wasn't an immigration attorney to help them, and now they're getting denials. The denials that I've seen so far are because of the first reason is because people cannot show that they have been in the United States during the designated period. So when it comes to TPS, there are two dates that you need to pay attention to. There's a designated period where you have to show that you've been in America physically residing at that time. And then there's also the other date where you have to show that you are physically present in the United States, and that's the registration period. So I will give you the example of Haiti. Haiti was redesignated for TPS in 2021, and the date was actually changed due to the assassination of their president. So for people who are from Haiti who want to apply for TPS, they would need to show that they were physically residing in, or sorry, continuously residing in America as of July 29th, 2021, and they have to show that they were continuously physically present in America as of August 3rd, 2021. So the denial letters that I've been seeing so far from these people are people who have not proven to USCIS's satisfaction that they were both here July 29th, 2021, and also August 3rd, 2021. It's okay if you were here July 29th, 2021, and then you left on August 1st to take a quick trip to Haiti or somewhere else, as long as you have that proof. So, and the people that I've had consultations with lately, some of them have made short trips but did not provide proof of that, or they did not provide enough evidence that they were actually continuously living in America as of July 29th, 2021. The other reason that I'm seeing cases being denied is because people need a waiver. As with everything else in immigration, you have to be admissible, meaning you have to be in a situation where you don't have any problems that would be keeping you from getting that immigration benefit. So with TPS, a common reason that I'm seeing applications being denied for needing a waiver is because maybe you applied for something else and you lied to immigration. It could have been you lied on a visitor's visa application. For example, oftentimes when people are applying for a visitor's visa, they will say things like, I'm married and I have children back home, because they think that if they can show the immigration officer that they have family back home, of course they're going to go back to their home country. They're not just trying to come to America and, really try to stay here. And then what ends up happening sometimes is maybe they get married and now they're applying for a green card. And now they're telling immigration that they've never been married before. And immigration says to them, well, on this previous application, you told us that you were married, and now you're telling us that you're not. So we don't know if you're lying now or if you lied back then, but we're just going to say that you are inadmissible due to fraud or misrepresentation. So if that happens to you, then if you're going to want to apply for TPS or even a green card later down the road, you're going to need a waiver for your application. So some people are getting their TPS applications denied because they need a waiver. Another thing I'm seeing is people that are getting requests for evidence because of firm resettlement. There's a concept in our immigration law that basically says if you had an established life somewhere else before you came to America, then you have firmly resettled such that that is a bar to your getting TPS or asylum. So in the case of some Haitian migrants who maybe lived in Brazil or Chile for decades before they came to America, a lot of them might have firm resettlement issues. And what USCIS is looking for is they want to see, did you live somewhere else? Did you have a work permit somewhere else? Did you have property? Did you have children there? Did you have permanent residency somewhere else? Because if it's possible that you could have lived somewhere else, then they don't really feel inclined to give you TPS so that you can continue to live in America. So those are the majority of the issues that I have been seeing in cases with people who have applied for TPS on their own. Some of them are getting denials. A couple of my clients have already received their TPS approvals. Some people, though, are unfortunately getting denials. And some people are not getting denials, but they're getting requests for evidence, questioning what they did before they came to America. If you need help navigating your TPS application, definitely feel free to reach out to my office. You can go to brazenlegal.com/contact to book a consultation. I'll drop the link in the description of this video. And I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about TPS, denials, requests for evidence, firm resettlement, anything that I talked about in this video, please drop them in the comments. And if you're not doing so already, subscribe this channel so that you don't miss the next one, and follow me on Instagram at Brazen Lawyer. Thanks for watching.